Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about something I'm really passionate about, and that is creators, or more specifically, the creator economy. Quick definitions first. When I say creator, the initial association is probably content creator like writer, YouTuber, or podcaster. But the field of creators is wider than that. Investor and creator Li Jin termed the phrase passion economy in a blog post that extends the creator economy. Whereas previously the biggest online labor marketplaces flattened the individuality of workers, new platforms allow anyone to monetize unique skills. Users can now build audiences at scale and turn their passions into livelihoods, whether that's playing video games or producing video content. This has huge implications for entrepreneurship and what we'll think of as a job in the future. And becoming a creator is getting increasingly more easy. All you need today is a smartphone or some other device that lets you write or create video content, for example. Lowering the bar of entry leads to the long tail of creators described by Andreessen. When the tools of productions are available to everyone, everyone becomes a producer. This leads to the following shift. Up until now, the focus has been on dozens of markets of millions instead of millions of markets of dozens. We live in a world in which few players, or often only one player, captures the vast majority of a market. If you think about retail, you think about Amazon. What follows are not medium-sized players, but a long tail of small but highly individual niche businesses. What applies to retail and other businesses also applies to creators. There are only a few highly successful creators like Mr. Beast or PewDiePie if we take YouTube subscribers as an exemplary measure, and there are millions of less successful ones. But what does less successful exactly mean? I mean, less successful does not mean unsuccessful. And measuring success only works in comparison. If we take one person and compare it to another person, well, what if we stop comparing? I'm paraphrasing what Naval Ravikant said on Clubhouse. If you look at the leaderboard of YouTube subscribers, for example, sure, there are always ones that are higher up, and for you to go above them, they would need to go below you. This would be a zero-sum status game, essentially. But that's not the right way to look at it. Instead, you should think of an endless amount of leaderboards, because there is an endless amount of niches. If you bring in authenticity, you can become number one on your personal leaderboard, because no one is better at being you than you are. But why should you start creating in the first place? The answer can have many layers, but the most simple one is that creating something online and building an audience is the most leveraged activity you could ever do. The important thing here is that you just don't know who watches your content, and publishing content sets you up to be lucky. It's an asymmetric bet that exposes you to positive black swans, events you don't foresee but have an immense impact on your life. I'm building a win-win situation in perpetuity. Making content that's insightful to you or inspires you to take action leads to growth of my channel, which then translates into more opportunities and revenue, which ultimately means I'll have more time to focus on making content that I'm passionate about. And when you look at my subscriber count sitting at 3K, it's obvious that for this cycle to kick in, you don't need millions of views. There's a great article by Kevin Kelly, which is more than a decade old and more relevant than ever. The core message is this. To be a successful creator, you don't need millions. You don't need millions of dollars or millions of customers, millions of clients or millions of fans. To make a living as a craftsperson, photographer, musician, designer, author, animator, app maker, entrepreneur or inventor, you need only thousands of true fans. If you are content to make a living but not a fortune. I would highly recommend to you to read the full article to understand the simple math and reasoning behind it. What's so fascinating about being a creator is that you are a micro-entrepreneur. There is a lot that goes into consistently publishing valuable content and growing your audience in the meantime. I don't think there is any job that gives you that much personal growth in terms of learning that you can generate over time than entrepreneurship. Because you are the owner, you have the accountability of everything. You're not necessarily changing the world on a massive scale, but you're positively influencing the lives of your audience. At least that's the bar for my videos. They need to be insightful and inspiring. You could argue that Marc Andreessen's legendary article Why Software is Eating the World, which was obviously completely correct and is a process that's still happening, can now be expanded to creators are eating the world. Why? Because legacy media is getting in trouble when content becomes increasingly more personalized and creators are filling every possible niche. It's a decentralizing process that turns everyone into a journalist, teacher, motivator, or entertainer. And also, some of these micro-entrepreneurs turn into big-time entrepreneurs, like Mr. Beast opening a fast food chain or Jack Conte building Patreon, which is now at a $4 billion valuation. Speaking of Jack Conte, who is a creative genius in my eyes, he recently published a video on this exact topic and called it the second renaissance.
So zooming out, this overall competitive dynamic between the distribution platforms competing to get creators paid and the startups and other companies Legoizing creative business infrastructure, this is going to lead to incredible, accessible, easy ways for creators to make money and build businesses. Actually, it's not even about making money. It's about building your dream as a creative person. That's about to go crazy. If you think creators are huge right now, wait till 5 years from now. Creators are going to be in charge. That's going to lead to a key step in this feedback loop. My favorite step. Culture changes. The stigma of the starving artist disappears. It's gone from Earth. Gone from Earth. Gone from Earth. Gone from Earth. Sayonara, hallelujah. Professional creativity becomes as normal as being a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher or any other profession. And kids growing up no longer dream of being a creator. They plan on it. A study published a few years ago shows that 75% of kids aged 6 to 17 want to be an online video creator when they grow up. There's an entire generation of kids watching today's creators, making videos, making podcasts, shooting the shit with their friends, building kick-ass businesses, making money. No wonder these kids want to be creators when they grow up. They're living the freaking dream. And that's going to lead to an even bigger explosion in the number of creators over the coming decades. And then this cycle is just going to keep feeding back on itself. The second renaissance is here, right now.
And he is absolutely right. The ecosystem that is available for creators is growing at a rapid speed. So are the ways to monetize and the interest to become a creator. Being a creator enables freedom in terms of time planning and location. And of course, it's a mirror of your interest because you wouldn't start creating something on a subject you don't care about. If done right, it has an immense compounding interest effect leading to awesome connections, monetary rewards, and self-actualization, the pinnacle of Maslow's hierarchy. While some others might say it's too late to become a creator because the market is saturated or whatever, I take the exact opposite stance. I think there's no time in history ever where it was better to become a creator than right now, so get going. If you watch this video, you have all the tools available to you. Start creating now, ship something awful and iterate until it's great, and thank you for watching.